Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Thanks for coming back to KJ's What Happened. We took a little bit of time off this past week, and I did a bit of a road trip, and I saw an old friend of mine I hadn't seen in 10 years, so that was nice. It's a nice kind of a reset, you know? It's inspiring. I get to step away from all this stuff every now and then. I actually recently passed a pretty important mile marker, or landmark, I guess. But I've been now doing this kind of work for 10 years, and that's on and off YouTube. About 8 years on YouTube, and then a few years before that, doing other things, made the movie, had a website way back in the day. So it's been a long road, man, and that's another reason why it's nice to take breaks every now and then. It's not good for anybody to look at this stuff, constantly and always be producing, videos and shows about some of the darker elements in our reality and not take a break. It's just inhuman. So anyway, thank you for bearing with the break. Thanks for coming back. There's plenty to cover. And I just put up a new video yesterday as well as far as that work goes. I've got a lot more to come. There'll be a couple new videos coming out over the next few days. And I've got a lot to do. So that also goes out to my Patreon friends and supporters. Thanks again, guys, so much. I really appreciate you. It's because of you guys and people who support the work here and there in other ways that, I'm able to keep doing this. So thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get started, though. Every week we do this, I'm finding different patterns. And here's one of them. This is another one of those stories that always pops up. Like every week, there's a new mystery sea creature washing up on some beach somewhere. But here's the newest mystery sea creature, like a crocodile found washed up on a beach in Wales. So that's out in the UK. And it baffles experts. Look at that. It looks like a dinosaur. Mysterious crocodile-like creature found washed up on a Welsh beach has left experts baffled. The 5-foot-long carcass found on Rasilly Beach, Swansea, I think I said that right, has a long head, giant jawline, and a slender tail. And is that a video? That's a photo. Okay. Anyway, that's about it. Not a lot more on it, but just every week there's a new creature washing up that can't easily be identified. We'll say that, right? The beasts rising from the deep. Here's another one. I don't know if there's video on this or not. Let's see. No, there's not, but probably safer not to play the video because the police were involved in a fatal shooting of a naked man. And I got this one because it's another one of those things. I did a video. I'll never forget this video. I never go back and watch my videos or listen to my shows again. When I do them, I'm done, and then I'm on to the next thing. I've always been that way. Every now and then I may see something pop in a feed I haven't seen in a few years. I may pop in and just watch a little bit here and there, but that's very rare. I just don't like to go back to things I've already done, But this particular video I'm talking about, I made it probably like two and a half years ago. And it was the first time I noticed YouTube really screwing with my views on my channel. Like that video was the first one where it was really obvious. They'd done other things, and those of you who are on YouTube here and have channels and cover these kind of things, they have different kind of tactics they use from time to time. But it was the first time I put up a video, and even back then I had like at least a few 100,000 subscribers. It's the first time I put up a video where like within 24 hours it was stuck on 4,000 views or something like that, and it stayed like that for days. And then it slowly opened up after about a week, but it just never really quite got to where I'm pretty sure this one was at. I can average most of my videos, But it was a video with a bunch of stories about people who were getting naked and going crazy in public. And gee, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why YouTube didn't like it. I don't know. But there were so many of them. And this is just a few years ago. And I was kind of connecting it with the idea of possession. This is the way that demonically possessed people have been described in the Bible. Naked, extra strength, the strength of 3 or 4 men, growling and acting like animals. I mean, the whole thing. So I feel we've been seeing a real increase in that over the years. So I still find these stories, though. And here's just the newest one of some dude that got naked and just started acting crazy. And unfortunately, he got killed for it. But you know, in a case like this, I can't blame the police. I believe they tried a few other things before they shot him. Family of a young black Virginia man who was fatally shot by police while naked and unarmed said the release of body cam footage Friday answered some of their questions about what happened. In the footage, Marcus David Peters emerges naked from a car and dashes onto Interstate 95 in Richmond, where he flails before running toward the officer while shouting threats. The officer deploys a stun gun before shooting Peters twice. Peters' sister, Princess Blanding, it's an interesting name, Princess Blanding. Princess Blanding. What a crazy name. Said at a news conference that her brother was clearly distressed and in need of help. She asked why the officer engaged with her brother after he noted that Peter seemed, quote, mentally unstable, and why the officer told others at the scene further lethal force might be necessary. Well, he just jumped out of a car while he's on the interstate naked, flailing his arms and screaming threats. You know, is one thing. I mean, this isn't good. That's not something good to do with police ever. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Have you heard about this one? Hackers stream. Am I allowed to say that word anymore on YouTube? It's so hard to tell. Anyway, hackers stream that kind of prawn during House race debate between Democratic Green Party rivals. Hackers reportedly streamed a, you know what, prawn video during an online House race debate for California's 1st District congressional seat. The organization, independent like the North State, presented the forum, which was open to the 7 candidates vying for incumbent Doug LaMalfa's seat. Only 2 candidates, blah, blah, blah. The debate, which was hacked with video of 2 men engaged in sexual acts shortly after 8:00 p.m., was streamed both online and broadcast on a radio station. Amid the hack, moderator Chris Verrill was heard saying, "Looks like we got hacked again. We'll try to fix this." The feed was then promptly shut down. In a statement to KRCR, Verrill sounds like a supervillain's name, doesn't it? Verrill, and it'd be spelt like that too. Verrill. Why is everyone running? Verrill's coming. Yeah. Verrill expressed his frustration with how the debate turned out. We had a community forum, and while it's disappointing people did not respect us or the candidates, or more importantly, the democratic process or the community, that's part of the way democracy works. Okay. Oh, comment. First comment. How did they find Barack and Michelle's sex tape? Ayo. They're waking up. They done woke up. There's been a mass awakening. It's good. You see that. Oh, I kind of wanted to save this one. I'll come back to that one. That one's special. Look at this monster. Just looks like a monster. Man dismembered girlfriend's body made necklace with teeth. A man in England was sentenced to life in prison Tuesday after being found guilty of murdering his girlfriend, dismembering her body, and admitting to police he made a necklace out of her teeth. This is like something out of a movie, you know? And when people do stuff like that, I'm always wondering, is this their first time? Really? Is this your first, have you done this kind of thing before? I know these things evolve and grow and get worse, at least what I've seen about killers, but that's a pretty wild statement to make right there. If it's your first kill and all, I guess. Devon and Cornwall police said in a news release that Dean Lowe, 33, it's always the 33, highest level of masonry in the year of Christ's death. Interesting, right? But always a 33, right? Was convicted last week of killing his girlfriend, 32-year-old Kirby Nodden. I do like the name Kirby. The 33-year-old, again, The 33-year-old then lived with the evidence of the murder for months and told family and friends that Noden had left him for another man. In May 2017, authorities were contacted by concerned members of Lowe's family after they received disturbing messages from him on social media, saying there had been a body on the floor, which he had cut up and put into bins. Either I'm getting set up or I've murdered Kirby. I had a blackout, hazy memory, and woke up with a body on the floor. I am scared, so I just got rid of it. He wrote to a cousin. I put the body in the bins down the road. I remember the binman finding all the meat and didn't know what it was. The carpet was lifted because of the body matter. When investigators searched Lowe's home, they found blood splattered on the walls, a metal pole, and rock used to kill Noden, and in addition to stains on the mattress, they always have to give it the 33, it seems. The 33-year-old continued to sleep on. It's 3 times. They just, not his name, but the 33. So we see this, right? He also told police he made a necklace of her teeth. Miss Noden's family had been put through a living hell, with Lowe not disclosing where he disposed of Kirby's body and denying all knowledge in court. Lowe added to their upset by insisting that Kirby was still alive. During his sentencing on Tuesday, a judge said Lowe showed the opposite of remorse by constantly lying. You must have eaten, slept, watched TV, and taken your drugs next to Noden's corpse for several days with 2 bull terriers in the same room, Justice May said. You cut up what remained, wrapped some of the carpet, and took the rest in rucksacks to the bins. So it's a monster. There are monsters. There are monsters among us. There are monsters. I've got that special one I'm going to save for the end. This is just kind of a creeper one. I also want to throw out a thank you to Marina Knife and also to Mad Guns Forever. These 2 people send me news stories all the time on email, and I always look through those along with everything else I look through. And this is one of them I got from, I think it was Mad Guns. I don't know if there's a video or not here. Let's see. I'm not sure if we even want to see the video. Let's see here. Well, I guess I should set it up. You've probably read the title by now. Doesn't take a lot of decoding. Lady poops on restaurant floor, flings it at cashier. So another person just acting cuckoo. It looks like there's a video here. Let's see. Let's see what happened. Wow. Okay. Wow. There we have it. I guess I didn't expect to see that much. I don't know, but I think we get it. That's really gross, to say the least. And people just losing it. Someone just lost it. It's a Canadian. Of course it's a Canadian. I'm kidding. I have nothing against Canadians. A Canadian woman was so incensed that a Tim Hortons employee denied her access to the restroom that she just did what we watched. Wow. People acting like animals. Employers are monitoring computers, toilet breaks, even emotions. Is your boss watching you? This is from The Guardian. Last year, an American company microchipped dozens of its workers in a chip party. Hey, chip party, guys. See you there. In a chip party. Sounds so much fun. In a chip party, they made headlines around the world. Employees lined up to have a device the size of a grain of rice implanted under the skin between their thumb and forefinger. At first, Todd Westby, the CEO of 3 Square Market, thought only about 5 or 6 people, him and a couple of directors. Some of the people who worked in the IT department would volunteer, but of the 90 people who work at the headquarters, 72 are now chipped. Westby has a chip in each hand. They can be used to open security doors, log on to computers, and make payments at the company's vending machines. Just a few years ago, a lot of us, me included, a lot of us YouTubers ran footage of Regina. I can't remember her last name, but she was the head of Google at the time, and she's talking about these kind of tattoo type, implant type things they'd have out in the future where you could, access your computer and, check your email and just all kinds of stuff, operate things in your house. I showed you a news story a few weeks ago. That's what they're wanting. They're literally creating smart homes, and now they've got the technology coming along and this is going to be part of the appeal, why so many people are going to be into it when the chip comes. That be like, well, yeah, it just makes sense, man. I got a smart house. I can operate it just by putting this thing in my hand. Duh. Who wouldn't do that? There's going to be a lot of people that do this. So I'll see you at the chip party, I guess. But anyway, 72 of them are now chipped. Westby has a chip in each hand. They can be used to, as I told you, do all that fancy stuff. Can he see it taking off at lots of other companies? Not necessarily, he says, or at least not yet. It's partly a generational thing, he believes. You may never want to be chipped, but if you're a millennial, you have no problems. They think it's cool. There are other uses for it. 2 months ago, the company, whose core business is selling vending machines and kiosks, started chipping people with dementia in Puerto Rico. If someone wanders off and gets lost, police can scan. Well, duh, that's always been the argument. It's why you should chip your kids, man. You've seen that for years. If someone wanders off and gets lost, police can scan the chip and they will know all their medical information, what drugs they can have. They'll know their identity. Anyway, that's how they've been selling it forever, but it's working, and these are becoming more common stories about these chips, about the microchip implants. Just kind of prepping us for the real bad chip. Chip party. I'm not going to be going to the chip party, I'll tell you that. Are you? Amazon slammed for selling facial recognition tech to cops. All these companies are just engaged in this stuff, right? At this point, it seems. Seattle, Amazon's decision to market a powerful face recognition tool to police is alarming privacy advocates who say the tech giant's reach could vastly accelerate a dystopian future in which camera-equipped officers can identify and track people in real time, like they're doing in China now, right? Already, whether they're involved in crimes or not. And this is going to, once you get your chip in you, this is going to be a part of that. You'll be hooked up into the system. It won't just be a smart home. It'll be a smart-based reality where this stuff's all around us. And they'll also be able to tell who doesn't have the chip. It's going to be a part of it as well. Who didn't attend the chip party? Who's the naughty one? Who's the naughty boy and naughty girl who doesn't want to get the chip? So it's not clear how many law enforcement agencies have purchased the tool. It's called Recognition with a K. Since its launch in late 2016 or since its update last fall, when Amazon added capabilities that allow it to identify people in videos and follow their movements almost instantly. That is creepy. It's in your home. Washington County Sheriff's Office in Oregon has used it to quickly compare unidentified suspects and surveillance images to a database of more than 300,000 booking photos from the county jail. A common use of such technology around the country, while the Orlando Police Department in Florida is testing whether it can be used to single out persons of interest in public spaces, yep, and alert officers to their presence, yep. Of course, that's what it's going to be used to do. The American Civil Liberties Union and other privacy advocates on Tuesday asked Amazon to start marketing recognition to government agencies, saying they could use the technology to easily build a system to automate the identification and tracking of anyone. Yeah. There you go. ACLU, it's about time you guys do something good. That could have potentially dire consequences for minorities who are already arrested at disproportionate rates, immigrants who may be in the country illegally, or political protesters, they said. People should be free to walk down the street without being watched by the government, the groups wrote in a letter to Amazon. Facial recognition in American communities threatens this freedom. True. It's truth. Amazon's technology isn't that different from what face recognition companies are already selling to law enforcement agencies, but its vast reach and its interest in recruiting more police departments at extremely low cost are troubling. Some police departments, including Seattle, have policies that bar the use of real-time facial recognition and body camera videos. That's good. Amazon released recognition in late 2016. The sheriff's office in Washington County, west of Portland, became one of its first law enforcement agency customers. A year later, deputies were using it about 20 times a day, for example, to identify burglary suspects in store surveillance footage. Last month, the agency adopted policies governing its use, noting that officers in the field can use real-time face recognition to identify suspects who are unwilling or unable to provide their own ID, or if someone's life's in danger. So I guess I should scroll this one up pretty quick. It's a fairly adult picture there. The coffee shop, and this is just, again, just seeing, to me, when I see stuff like this, I know there's people, "Hey, that's cool, man, it's hot, we got chicks serving coffee with their girls out, but I guess I'm just an old fogey like that, I see stuff like this, and it's just, again, just vanity, society crumbling, no moral standards at all. It's all moral relativism nowadays, So yeah, a coffee shop has a bikini dress code that the female boss is empowering, but a city councilman has argued exploits women. The uniform sees the women don bikinis, or underwear, with some choosing to simply have colorful stickers over their nipples as they serve coffee from a stand in Washington. Bikini Beans Espresso is owned by entrepreneur Carly Joe and has seen huge success, possibly due to the dress code. Yeah, possibly. Ratings have soared on Yelp, and customers regularly leave comments about the staff online. Of course they do. Although the risky uniform has received criticism, the owner is adamant that it empowers women. On the shop's website, she writes about the branch in Arizona. As the first bikini barista shop in Arizona, we want to empower women to be and feel good about themselves. Women everywhere have the right to vote, to be gay, to be successful community leaders and business owners, or even run for president. We have the right to work with grace, confidence, and dignity, regardless if it's in a business suit, scrubs, or a bikini. This is empowering women, though. This is female empowerment, guys. That's what the new feminism is. That's empowering women. That's what it is. Scientists warn that 5G tech found in Wi-Fi street lamps is causing insomnia, nosebleeds, and stillbirths. This is from Natural News. Check that out sometime. It's Mike at Natural News. Across the pond, one brave man is speaking out about a sudden spike in health problems he believes are related to LED street lamps that purportedly emit 5G radiation. In Gateshead, a town in northern England, citizens are reporting an array of disturbing side effects, including insomnia, nosebleeds, and even stillbirth. Steele, 58, is a local resident in Gateshead and reportedly is a member of the IEEE, an organization which describes itself as the world's largest technical professional organization dedicated to advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. He is doing his best to raise awareness about the threat posed by the new LED street lamps, which were installed back in 2016. Steele says that a number of people have been suffering with nosebleeds, insomnia, and other neurological problems since the lights were put in place. But the horror doesn't end there. Multiple women have lost their babies since that time. In his own circle of friends, Steele explains 3 women have lost babies, one of which was born with severe defects and survived just a few hours after birth. I'm going to keep going, but yeah, this is, I did a video on 5G a while back myself, and it's literally the beast system, like physically manifesting, around us, them like enclosing the prison planet, the bars and the cells. It's interesting, and it's connected to even more stuff, but that they're setting up out there. But we find this, we find stories like this coming out. So check that article out sometime. I've already got it saved myself because I believe, we'll be seeing more of this. If it really is the cause, if that's what's causing it, this is an early warning sign of what's to come as they continue to build that 5G beast system all around us. So we may be hearing more about these kinds of things, these kinds of effects. I'm not saying for sure. I'm not predicting anything, but I wouldn't be surprised. This one right here. Second graders at a Louisiana school wish their parents would get off their phones. Is that a video? No, okay, it's not. Elementary school teacher Jen Beeson said 4 of her students told her they wished phones were never invented after giving the class a writing prompt. I don't like the phone because my parents are on their phone every day. I hate my mom's phone and I wish she never had one. One student wrote in a photo posted to Beeson's Facebook page that has since been turned to private. The post was shared more than 261,000 times. That's good. Shows an interest. Parents expressed guilt and fellow teachers echoed similar conversations they've had in their classrooms. We had a class discussion about Facebook, and every single one of the students said their parents spend more time on Facebook than they do talking to their child. It was very eye-opening for me. So, there's that story. It's sad. It's sad that it's happening all over, U.S. aircraft carrier was stalked for days by a UFO traveling at ballistic missile speed, which could hover above the sea for 6 days, leaked Pentagon report reveals. The 2009 report does not bear any date or agency logo, but 4 officials confirmed that it was written as part of a Pentagon program with input from multiple agencies. The Las Vegas news station obtained the unclassified report while visiting Washington, D.C. for a debriefing arranged by former Senator Harry Reid. The report reveals stunning new first-hand accounts of the November 14, 2004 encounter, which was documented in video that emerged in December of last year. And that's the video. We probably saw that on one of the news shows in the past. But anyway, I'm not going to read into the whole thing here. But, more of these stories are becoming commonplace as well. And sightings. I mean, just being gone for a few days, coming back and seeing all the new UFO sightings online. It's just, they're popping up everywhere. Yeah, this guy, born to kill. And when I saw that, this is the kid down in Texas that went on the massacre there a while back. It's Dimitri kid. I had heard the term incel forever, and I see it online. I see people use it as insults and everything else. Never really looked much into it. It's up there with cuck. It's in that same kind of category. I do like cuck as far as a word. It's funny to me, but the cuckold, cuck. So I see people calling each other incels. And anyway, it was this story right here where I finally learned what incel actually means, which is involuntarily celibate. And there's a whole huge culture around this right here. And it's interesting because a lot of these school killers turn out to be, what you'd call an incel. And they all seem to have stories of women turning him down, girls not giving him attention. He has one. There's others that have had one. I'm thinking of making a video with some of these people in it and showing you what I'm talking about. But a lot of them are incels, and there's a whole thing with incel. There's a website called Godlike Productions I've gone to off and on throughout the years. Some of you guys go there too. I personally think it's gone downhill over the last maybe 2 years or so. They got real into just Trump stuff. Like it's all Trump. Like they're all pro-Trump and stuff. And like they just all the good, weird, strange articles just started falling to the wayside over there. Godlike Productions is also very much a psyop, because pretty much anybody can post there. So you'll see a lot of psyops playing out there. And by psyop, I mean certain subjects that come out constantly to the point of it being annoying. And that's one thing you'll find in Godlike Productions. All these years I was seeing incels over there, or an incel psyop, and I never realized it. But if you go there, it's like every other story is about, why do white women like black men more than us? Stuff like this, or, my wife did this, she's a cheating hoe, and, but this, whatever. It's always some stories about women being trash, women being whores, women being terrible, and that's what it is. So there's a whole, and it happens so much there. Some of you who go there know what I'm talking about, that to me, it's a psyop. It's a part of that, it's possibly also reflecting the massive amount of people who are falling into this category now, this involuntary celibate, incel, and now they're getting angry about it. Unfortunately, and now they're fighting back. He has also had tons of symbolism surrounding him. I'm not saying this guy's Illuminati or something. It's nothing like that. But I'm saying that, this the symbols always tell another story. It's a whole other language, and we find it connected to certain things. All right, like certain wicked symbols we find attached to wicked situations, people doing wicked things. And this kid had him as well. He had the Baphomet, the swastika, all this. So there you go. There you go. So that's the spirit. That's the spirit that was on this kid right there. Incel. I didn't mean to have this up. This is actually one of my new videos. Spoiler alert. We'll get to that later. I'll probably have that up tomorrow or the next day. Experts say cockroach milk could be the next non-dairy fad and claim it tastes just like cow's milk. Cockroach milk could become a new addition to the superfood craze, with food-conscious Australians opting for a dairy alternative in their morning coffee. Gross. Look at that picture. The cockroach crystals, which contain the milk, are like a complete food with all the essential amino acids, a researcher from the Institute of Stem Cell Biology and Regenerative Medicine in India has claimed. From stem cell biology. Another researcher told U.S. National Public Radio he tried the milk and it tasted no different from cow's milk. Milk found from the Australian native Pacific beetle cockroach was found to contain protein sequences with all the essential amino acids, plus proteins, fats, and sugars, and 3 times the energy of dairy milk. Some people may find it surprising that the bug even makes milk at all. But the Diploptera punctata is the only species of roach that gives birth to living offspring, as opposed to laying eggs, and produces milk to feed their young. That's so weird, huh? Would you drink it? That. Would you drink that? I wouldn't. Yes, Alexa is recording mundane details of your life, and it's creepy as hell. I'm not kicking our smart speaker out of the house just yet, but the consequences of having it in my family's life are becoming clear. This is a editorial from Rachel Metz. Since last year, I've had a smart speaker in my living room, an Echo Dot. My family uses it mostly to ask Amazon's digital assistant Alexa to play music. But after I saw a report that an Alexa-enabled speaker owned by a family in Portland, Oregon had recorded a conversation and sent it to a contact, I started wondering, what is it picking up at my house when we're not talking to it directly? So I checked my Alexa history. She says you can do that through the settings portion on the smartphone app to see what kinds of things it recorded without my knowledge. That's when the hairs in the back of my neck started to stand up. Beyond all the things I've clearly asked Alexa to do in the past several months, it has also tuned in frequently several times a day for no obvious reason. It's heard me complain to my dad about something work-related, chide my toddler about eating dinner, and talk to my husband, the kinds of normal, everyday things you say at home when you think no one else is listening. That's creepy. And that's precisely why it's terrifying. This sort of mundane chit-chat is my mundane chit-chat. I invited Alexa into our living room to make it easier to listen to Pandora and occasionally check the weather, not to keep a log of intimate family details, or record my kids saying, "Mommy, we going car," and forward it to Amazon's cloud storage. That's about all you need to know about that. Yeah. What more can you say? Here's a fun clip I wanted to show you. So this is from a few years ago. I just saw it for the first time about a week ago on another channel. It was like a compilation of people acting crazy type video. And this was one of those compilation bits. But I went ahead and came here to the original, and I want to show it to you, and we'll watch it together. This is classic. I've never seen this before. And like I said, it's several years old. But this goes to show you, if you already didn't think Scientology was a little weird and kooky, this goes to show you how scary it can be. All these guys are Scientologists. They show up at this dude's house because he's trying to leave the church. And this is what happens. Enjoy.
Come on, Marty. Got anything to say? You can't even defend yourself on this, can you?
What's your name?
I gave you my name, Marty.
What's your name?
Marty, I gave you my name. Now let's go take a look at a folder.
What's your name?
Why don't you answer his question?
Marty, let's take a look at a folder.
What's your name?
Marty, let's take a look at a folder. You can't touch him, Marty.
What's your name?
Come on, Marty. Go get me your meter. You're squirreling, and we would like to
What's
see
your
that
name,
thing
please? You guys don't identify yourselves.
I identified myself when you opened the door,
I'm gonna
Marty.
ask you to leave.
We'll be glad to leave, Marty, but we would like to interview you. Why don't you come downstairs and we'll interview you? What do you got to say about that, Marty? How about that?
I don't have anything to say to an unidentified
Well, I told you I was.
punk who comes with 4 people to my door unidentified.
Marty, I'm with Squirrel Busters
in
Productions.
Goofball outfits.
Marty, I'm with Squirrel Busters Production doing an investigation on you and your squirrel technology that you're promoting.
Okay. You're interrupting the delivery of Scientology, which is
Marty, you don't deliver Scientology and haven't for years.
No meters.
No meter, no PC folders. I've been reading your blogs, Marty. There's just no way you're delivering anything to do with Scientology.
All right, I've got you guys now. Now leave.
Okay, we'll be glad to leave.
Good. And don't come back.
Marty, why don't you come downstairs and we'll interview you on this point?
I told you to leave. Get out of
Oh, no,
here.
I'm leaving.
Beat it. Now who's busting who?
Marty, you're the one who's busted because you're the squirrel.
I said get off my property, boy.
Okay, we'll get up the property.
Why don't we come out here and finish the interview, Marty?
Get off my property, boy.
Okay, Marty, so you want to do the interview out here?
Here we go. Let's
You guys
start.
gonna stick around here?
Yeah, Marty, we're here for weeks and weeks.
As long as it takes.
Can you give me your name?
Marty, come on. My name is John Allender. I gave it to you at the end.
John Allender?
That's right.
Are you the OTA?
Marty,
You came all the way from San Jose. David Miscavige had you come all the way from
Marty,
San Jose
I came
to
out
mess
here.
with my PC who's here.
I came out here. Marty,
Where you can't do
you
that.
can't do that. Marty,
I just did it.
look, that's my personal property. Marty.
Yeah, that's right.
Marty, that's
Anyway, that's about the gist of it. That's some creepy stuff. Scientologists. Who knew, right? I always thought they were regular folk. Ha! What did I know? Bigfoot found. Mystery after huge wolf-like monster discovered. DNA testing ordered. Headlines like this, the second I read them, it's like, yes, please. More? Yeah, I like these monster kind of stories. But how real is this monster? Let's see. The shaggy, furred monster was spotted near a Montana farm earlier this week, prompting the landowner to call local rangers. When the two men appeared, they blasted the mystery creature before it could tear apart any of the livestock. But as the rangers approached, they realized the monster was unlike anything they had seen. The photo revealed it had massive teeth, shaggy brown fur, and was alarmingly large for a canine. The body was later taken to Montana Fish and Wildlife and Parks Lab, where its DNA would be tested. There has been no confirmation as to what the beast is or whether it is a new species entirely. Interesting, huh? Monsters. This is an old article, just something I recently fell on and I thought it was really interesting. I just wanted to share it with you here. I'm not really going to read it, but you can check it out for yourself. How to Spot a Psychopath. It's from Daily Mail. And this was a really good article. Well, it's a long article, so I don't want to start reading it, but just wanted to share that with you. Okay, it's very interesting, this guy's insight into the mind of a psychopath. Here's a very interesting story. We know all about these mysterious booms and the trumpets and all that, right? So check this out.
Not lit up is plaguing a part of Pennsylvania. No one seems to know the source of the mysterious booms. Top investigators are now helping to unravel the mystery in Springfield Township, Haycock Township. Night loud noise that will not let up is plaguing a part of Pennsylvania. No one seems to know the source of the mysterious booms. Top investigators are now helping to unravel the mystery in Springfield Township, Haycock Township, Milford Township, and Quakertown. That's where Eyewitness News reporter Alexandria Hoff is tonight. Alex?
Yuki, this is a wild story that just seems to keep on getting stranger. Now, between calls to police and posts on social media, hundreds of people say that they have heard and been shaken by this explosion-like sound that rocked them out of their beds in the middle of the night. And without a clue of what is going on, local police have gone to state, and state police have now gone to federal investigators. Here in Upper Bucks County, something has been going bump in the night.
I thought maybe somebody was making a tunnel or space junk fell out of the sky.
From poachers, gunfire to explosions to sonic booms.
There has been no shortage of theories, but still no answer as to why so many residents have been jolted by a mysterious and near deafening boom sound.
It's a rumble. It actually rumbles the ground like an earthquake would happen, but with a loud
I've been in the military. I've got experience with explosives. I was a Navy diver. And that was definitely not a gunshot.
Local police municipalities have been receiving reports of the booms since early April. A majority of the reported sounds have taken place between the hours of 2 a.m. and 4:30 a.m.
I heard it at 2:35. And that was, what did I say, April 30th? I think it was that morning.
Janice Crompton of Haycock Township and her daughter heard the booms on 2 occasions.
It's like an explosion. And of course, it actually shakes your house.
Eyewitness News has confirmed that along with the Pennsylvania State Police, the FBI is now on the case as well. Authorities are asking that if you noticed anything odd, do not investigate for yourself. Call police immediately and be sure to take mental notes.
I find it interesting that it's called Quakertown. I don't know if you saw that or not. Or was that? There it is. It's Quakertown right there. It says Quakertown, PA.
Police, the FBI is now on the case as well. Authorities are asking that if you noticed anything
Quakertown.
odd, do not investigate.
It's Quakertown.
Call police immediately.
where they're experiencing these little quakes. It's interesting, but what could it be, man? You know, there's lots of theories. Certainly one that's not even just a theory. There's a lot of evidence to back it up is the underground tunnels. And a lot of people think that this is, you know, excuse me, evidence of the elite kind of making room down there and, you know, just getting ready, like building more tunnels, building more safe spaces or what have you. Sonic booms, another one very interesting to think, quite possibly. Maybe UFO, the increase in UFO activity all over. Maybe there's a connection there, you know. Solar storms, possibly. What do you think? Mavi777. I like this guy. I like this channel. You know, not everything he puts out I'm into, but every now and then he gets some just really, really interesting ones. Here's one, just a short one I'll share. It was filmed off of a CCTV, but this is, what do you think this is? It's in India. It's just weird the way that person's crawling up there, you know. If it's a person, dun dun dun, you know, what could it be? Anyway, just a short little clip. There's a lot of other stuff on this one. I just wanted to mainly show you this part here. Weird. Don't know what it is. All right. Oh, come on. Well, these are older stories anyway I was going to share from some of the weird trends some of the kids are doing online. Oh, man, come on. Well, look, you can kind of see the headline right there. Business Insider, is that this site? Man, this sucks. Well, turn off the blocker. I guess I could. I don't know how to turn off my blocker. I don't want to do this during the show, but the Toronto van attack suspect warned of an Insel Rebellion on Facebook hours before the attack. So let's just find a different story. Now we're back to that Insel, right? Here we go. Insel Rebellion. So yeah, this is a pretty new subject for me, just looking into this. So that, you know, I'll most likely do a video, not now, but in the future, because this is something I'm watching real close now to see, you know, we'll see more of it. You know, it's my experience is when I see things like this, I wait because I know we're going to see more stuff come out about it. And then I'll make a video, you know, when I feel the time's right, I guess. It's hard to explain, but this is a very interesting subject. Once again, this Insel Rebellion. It's, you know, men are being tossed to the side in a lot of ways nowadays, you know, that's undeniable. And then all the really bad guys are getting all the attention. You know, the real dirtbags are getting all the attention, like with the Me Too movement and stuff like this. So that doesn't help the cause for men, right? Yeah, I need to do a video on this. I got a lot of thoughts on it. It's also connected with MGTOW a little bit, men going their own way. I'm not saying that they're necessarily all incels, but, you know, there's a connection with that group. Yeah, man, it's a whole thing. It's like I did a video on the battle of the sexes like 4 years ago. I need to do a new one. It's been a long time. It was called The Battle of Sexes is Over, Everyone Lost. You can probably find that on the channel, but I'm sensing a new one coming here. But yeah, this Insel Rebellion stuff. It reads like the opening of a dystopian novel. The Insel Rebellion has already begun. The mysterious line actually comes from a message police say the alleged Toronto killer posted on Facebook minutes before the van rampage that left 10 pedestrians dead. We will overthrow all the Chads and Stacys, it continues. All hail the supreme gentleman, Elliot. Oh, that guy. Roger. Okay, so yeah, so he was one. And yeah, that's another thing, back to that godlike productions thing and seeing that community of people always talking about incels. That's where I learned the term Chad. Apparently Chad's like the alpha male, you know, the dude that gets all the chicks, and the Stacys must be the female equivalent to that, I'm guessing. So yeah, so the Chads and the incels and the Stacys. This is not fiction. The unusual references apparently made by suspect Alex Minassian reflect a real-life online underworld of misogyny and violence that law enforcement officials now are combing for evidence of the motive behind the vehicular carnage. Okay, here we go. What does incel mean? Incel is short for involuntarily celibate. It's a movement made up almost entirely of men who claim they can't have sex despite wanting to. Central to incel ideology is the notion that members have been unfairly denied sex by women because they're unattractive or socially awkward. In practice, this goes beyond simply having sex and enters the realm of having no possibility of finding a partner, either to get validation, love, or acceptance from. Excuse me, I'm going to take a quick drink here. Insel Me's administrator told CNN that the forum does not allow discussion of illegal acts and will ban users who post such comments. Make no mistake, we do not condone any kind of violence. We never have and never will. Inceldom is completely unrelated to violence or misogyny. Yes, some users, like in every community, are more extreme than others in their beliefs, but to make a crude hyperbole, like when a Muslim commits a terrorist act, people don't claim being a Muslim equals being a terrorist. Please don't associate two people who claim to being incel, Elliot Roger and Alec Minassian, as being representative of the whole incel community, because they're not. Bottom line is, incel means being unable to get a romantic or sexual partner. It has nothing to do with terrorist acts. Who are Chads and Stacys? In the group's lingo, Chads are sexually satisfied men, charismatic, tall, good-looking, confident, muscular, according to the incel site, and Stacys are attractive women who reject incels. Okay. Like other communities in the misogynistic online manosphere, incels also use the term red pill, as popularized by the movie The Matrix. That sucks. That sucks that community took that, or is trying to, the red pill. To me, it means something entirely different, but incels also use the term red pill as popularized by the movie The Matrix. To incels, taking the red pill means waking up to a reality in which men, not women, are victims of systemic discrimination. Okay. Interesting, though, this subject. Very interesting. Are you a Chad? Are you a Stacy? Are you an incel? These terms, these categories, right? I hate how it's all this stuff just divides people, you know? Power outage triggers extreme zombie activity alert in Florida City. Residents of Lake Worth, Florida received an alarming message during a power outage over the weekend. Watch out for zombies. A bulletin sent to city residents at 1:41 a.m. on Sunday warned of power outage and zombie alert and extreme zombie activity. City officials were soon scrambling to issue a strange assurance. We are looking into the reports. The system mentioned zombies. City Public Information Officer Ben Kerr told Lake Worth Live, I want to reiterate that Lake Worth does not have any zombie activity currently, and apologize for the system message. In addition to Lake Worth, the message also referenced Terminus, which was a location in The Walking Dead. And those of you who watch Walking Dead know Terminus. That's where it was one of the most brutal scenes was the fall of Terminus, wasn't it? That was pretty crazy. What they did to people at Terminus. That was... So we had the story about the mysterious booms. Now you got this one right here. This is another one. This is in Nebraska. Fire chased a Lincoln family from their home Saturday, leaving a mystery and a gaping hole in its wake. Fire crews were called to the 7100 block of Southampton Road at around 6:30 a.m. Battalion Chief Leo Bennis said the family had been awakened earlier by a loud boom, but couldn't find anything wrong with the house. It wasn't until later that the smell of smoke got their attention. They called the fire department and evacuated. Bennis said the initial thinking is that a lightning strike might have been the culprit, but that's still just speculation. The mystery still looms. Authorities say they were able to save a significant portion of the house. Damage estimated $25,000. No one hurt. But yeah, mystery something, right? Check this out here. The person who filmed it's not even sure what it is. But where was this? Scotland. Okay, this is in Scotland. Check this out. What do you think this could be? To me, it looks like a portal or something. But look at this. What do you think? Anyway, just one of those weird bits I wanted to share with you. I want to save that one. Okay, I'm going to come back in a second. We're getting there. It follows with another story. We've already heard about this. It's unfortunate. I put a little clip of this in my newest video. What's happening to the scouts? I mean, they got the scouts. The beast system finally got the scouts, right? It's like everything has to be perverted now. Everything has to be, just perverted, dirtied up a little bit, made more adult, Nothing sacred, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. We cover the pit bull stories usually popping out every week, but now this one, man, a pack of wiener dogs. Pack of wiener dogs got somebody. Check this out. Let's see if we can't.
Killed 52-year-old Tracy Garcia. 7 dogs belong to her neighbor. According to the shelter, none of them. Investigators say a pack of small dogs killed 52-year-old Tracy Garcia. The 7 dogs belonged to her neighbor. According to the shelter, none of them weighed more than 40 pounds, and most were dachshund and terrier mixes. Responding deputies shot and killed one of the dogs. The rest were taken to the shelter to be euthanized. The dogs were reportedly heavily infested with fleas and ticks. The Carter County Sheriff's Office says they're investigating the attack. Not yours. Pity, Dave.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny here. I mean this here. I mean, really. Can you imagine anything as terrifying as turning around and seeing like 20-something little angry, infested wiener dogs coming at you? And they're coming at you like they want to get you, like bite you. A bunch of wiener dogs, man. It's a real paradox, isn't it? Because they're so cute and cuddly, and I love dachshunds. My first dog, actually, when I was a real little boy, was a wiener dog named Brownie. And this is just random. I actually did something really bad when I was little. So I didn't mean to, but Brownie would fetch just naturally. She'd go fetch all kinds of stuff, right? And, I'd put up my video, Chubbs fetches. I guess I've always had little pets that like to fetch. But Brownie would run after anything. And one time it was 4th of July. We were in the backyard doing fireworks. I took a string of black cats, lit the fuse, and tossed the whole thing. And, yeah, Brownie fetched, and she's okay. She made it through. I was gonna say she's okay now. This is a long time ago. I'm sure she's passed a long time ago. But she went and picked him up in her mouth, was running back towards us as these things start popping off in her mouth, the whole string of black cats. I mean, it's like I almost see it in slow motion. It was horrible. So just want to share a traumatic childhood memory with you. That's all, guys. But anyway, mauled to death by a pack of wiener dogs, man. Just, more of the airline stuff. We get these every week, and now you got some guy, TTing on the seat in front of them on a flight. I'm not going to play a video or anything, but yeah, gross, right? And the one lady had her old panties on an airline in her seat, holding her old panties up over the vent, trying to dry them off. So how's that? So let's keep it classy, folks. All right, let's keep it classy. Okay, see you at the chip party. Sweden distributes Be Prepared for War leaflet to all 4.8 million homes. The Swedish government has begun sending all 4.8 million of the country's households a public information leaflet telling the population for the first time in more than half a century what to do in the event of a war. So it says, if crisis or war comes, explains how people can secure basic needs such as food, water, and heat, what warning signals mean, where to find bomb shelters, and how to contribute to Sweden's total defense. The 20-page pamphlet illustrated with pictures of sirens, warplanes, and families fleeing their homes also prepares the population for dangers such as cyber and terror attacks, climate change, and includes a page on identifying fake news. So here's some images from it. So what do they know, huh? Another one of these? Come on, guys. We've heard of this. This is just one I wanted to throw in. Some of you may not have heard about this, but I mean, nothing surprises me out of this filthy Jesuit, I guess I could say. I usually don't like throwing names out or anything, but just this guy's a real piece of work, to say the least. Eagle Creek Fire teen ordered to pay $36 million. Let me see if there's a video on this here. There is. All right, let's check this out.
Judge ordering the teenager who started the Big Eagle Creek Fire to pay nearly $37 million in restitution.
And the judge saying that penalty
is now drawing national attention. A Hood River judge ordering the teenager who started the Big Eagle Creek Fire to pay nearly $37 million in restitution.
And the judge saying that penalty is not cruel and unusual. Let's go to our Eileen Park, who joins us now. Like to explain further. Eileen?
Jennifer, that's because there are options for the teen. For example, his current financial situation will be taken into consideration when deciding the final sum he's going to have to pay regularly.
This is the 15-year-old who started the Eagle Creek Fire after playing with a couple of fireworks.
This is ordered on the youth, personally.
And looks like his parents won't be liable for paying the $36.6 million he will soon owe the state.
The goal in this is not to get every last dollar that this youth makes or ever will make. It's to provide a structure so victims are acknowledged in their loss, and that the payments are made in a way that the youth has the ability to do that, and also to reform him and also deter any future criminal conduct.
Phil Lemon with the Oregon Judicial Department says the judge realizes the teen won't be able to pay the full amount at once, let alone in his lifetime. So he asked the Juvenile Department to create a payment schedule with his financial limitations in mind.
And if the youth wants to appeal this judgment, and there's a lawful mechanism for you to do that, then we'll get a statewide answer from the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court.
And in 10 years, if the teen wanted to, he can see if a judge will relieve him of the rest of the payment if he successfully completes probation and makes regular restitution payments.
I'll mention to him that look him in the face and say that, that horse is dead because of you.
On Thursday, during the restitution hearing, Paul Smith was hoping to meet the teen and tell him how much the fire devastated his family. But he didn't get that chance. The 15-year-old didn't show up.
There's consequences for your actions.
Yeah, I met so many people like Paul who are still extremely angry as a teenager. They even feel like the 36.6.
So there you go. I am glad this kid's being, having to be held up responsible for what he did. That's unreal. He ruined a lot of lives. Soldiers may soon have implantable health monitors and robotic surgeries done remotely. So again, we're just, this science fiction film we're living in, right? Soldiers may soon be carrying monitoring devices that can alert doctors thousands of miles away to medical emergencies and the need for treatment. The devices may even be implanted in soldiers and continuously monitor their status, the Army's top doctor said in describing the near future of Army medicine. We should be monitoring all soldiers all the time, looking for patterns of injury or other signs for early detection. We can do better when every soldier is a sensor and we can continually monitor information culled from them. So chipping probably will be a part of all this, I'd imagine. Some form, right? Of course. There's an explosion of wearable and soon-to-be implantable peripheral monitors. It completely revolutionizes how we can follow and impact a soldier's health and a patient's health. Chip party. Have you guys heard about this one? Few people have been mumbling about this one online. I've, at least on the comment sections, I've had some people try to update me on this story. So grooming alert, do not take your kids to the Show Dogs movie. Check this out. So this is an editorial. It's foreverymom.com. Okay. Foreverymom.com. Says, I'm usually very up on the kids' movies that are coming out because I love to review movies in this online space for parents. But the past few weeks have been mind-bendingly busy for my family, and I completely missed that a new kids' movie called Show Dogs came out this weekend. The premise looks cute, so I'm glad I missed it. At any other time, I probably would have been an online trailer and just taken my 7-year-old with me to see the Show Dogs movie when I watched my review. Turns out it appears Show Dogs movie has some problems. After what I've learned about it from another parent review, I am so glad my son did not see this movie. Let me explain. Tarina Maldonado, parent reviewer for the Macaroni Kid website, did take her kids to see an advanced screening of the movie as part of her job with Macaroni Kid, but she came away with some seriously bad feelings about the movie. And this is Maldonado explaining. Excuse me. The premise is great for a kids' movie. Max is a talking police dog voiced by Ludacris, who's paired up with a human partner, Frank Will Arnett, to infiltrate a prestigious dog show and rescue a kidnapped baby panda. Being a tough dog from New York, Max has no business competing in a dog show, but uses his street smarts to outperform the competition to get closer to the inner circle of kidnappers. Along the way, Max learns lessons about trust and the need to accept help from others. The usual hilarity ensues with dog farts, bites on the rear end, and slapstick bonks to the head, which elicit giggles from the audience. It's when Max, the police dog, learns what he has to do to truly go undercover and be accepted as a legitimate show dog that the trouble with this movie starts. What does Max, and apparently all show dogs, have to submit to? Having his private parts touched and inspected. Yep, Maldonado continues. What could have been solely a fun movie for kids that would get my highest recommendation is damaged by a dark and disturbing message hidden, not so subtly, between the fluffy dogs and glamorous parties of the show dog lifestyle. As part of any dog show, contestants are judged on their abilities and physical attributes. One part in particular is the inspection of the dog's private parts. Max, of course, is not cool with this. And when his partner Frank and a former champion show dog try to get him to accept this process, a certain dark and very dangerous theme for kids emerges. Since the inspection of the private parts will happen in the finals, Frank touches Max's private parts to get him used to it. Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go, right? Grooming. Of course, Max doesn't like it and snaps at Frank for him to stop. Max is then told by the former champion, who has been through the process before, that he needs to go to his, quote, Zen place while it happens so he can get through it. So disassociative. More attempts are made by Frank to touch Max's private parts, but Max is still having trouble letting it happen and keeps snapping at him. Max needs to get it together, see, and let people touch his private parts, or he might lose the competition and fail at his mission to rescue the kidnapped panda. You see what's happening here? Max's success is riding on whether or not he lets both his partner for practice and a stranger touch his private parts in a kid's movie. Newsflash, folks. Yep, this is called grooming, and it's what sexual predators do to kids. It gets worse. Maldonado describes the movie's dramatic dog show finals. The day of the finals come, and if Max doesn't let his private parts be touched, he may lose the competition and any hope of finding the kidnapped panda. It all rests on his ability to let someone touch his private parts. The judge's hands slowly reach behind Max, and he goes to his, quote, Zen place. He's flying through the sky, dancing with his partner. There are fireworks and flowers. Everything is great, all while someone is touching his private parts. So a stranger touches Max's privates, and it must feel good because Max has gone to his happy place while being fondled. Oh, boy. Maldonado saw the movie with not only her kids, but her husband and her mother, too. After the movie, all three adults felt uncomfortable with the private part stuff, she says. I mean, this is one that people should really be going after. I mean, this is where people can make a difference. You know, if we all got together and maybe start a petition or something, you know, I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here, but this is the kind of stuff we as a people can really pull together and fight, you know. We could do something about it. One of y'all out there might have an idea. You know, what do you think? Maldonado then goes on to mention that she is a survivor of child abuse and describes how she will talk to her kids about the movie and explain it. All right, man. So that might be in a future video as well. That's pretty interesting. And that needs to be out there. That info does. Show dogs. Show dogs. So, you know, somebody out there, maybe one of y'all listening right now has got an idea of a way to pull people together to do something about this. You know, something peaceful, right? But I mean, take action. What do you think? China's satellite to explore moon's dark side successfully breaks for entry into orbit. Just one I'm watching, not much to talk about, but it's interesting that allegedly they're going to the dark side of the moon. So this should be interesting to see what happens, if anything. See what they find, if anything. If it's even happening, folks. I don't know. Okay, here's one. Check this out. Check this out.
Calls. Could they be in your neighborhood? Devices used to track cell phones and intercept phone calls. Could they be in your neighborhood?
While you might not be a target yourself, you may live next to someone who is.
We know that law enforcement uses them, but the Department of Homeland Security says there are also rogue devices that are a real and growing threat.
The News 4 I-team brought in an expert who found them all around our area. Investigative reporter Jody Fleischer explains that means to do.
It could be as small as a suitcase.
Most people don't know about it.
Placed anywhere at any time.
Our privacy is
Well, the volume is incredibly low on this, guys. I'm sorry. But I think you get the basic idea. And this is another one we'll probably show up in a video. This is important stuff here. And I don't think a lot of people have seen this, but Homeland Security apparently is leaving some kind of devices around. They look like briefcase, but they can pick up on your cell phone and hear what you're saying and follow you as well. So it's more a data collection, but it's being run by Homeland Security. I think this is it right here. Let's go to the story here. Save that one. So the technology can be as small as a suitcase placed anywhere at any time, and it's used to track cell phones and intercept calls. The News 4i team found dozens of potential spy devices while driving around Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Northern Virginia. While you might not be a target yourself, you may live next to someone who is. You could still get caught up, said Aaron Turner, a leading mobile security expert. The device sometimes referred... Oh, here you go. Here's the story.
While you might not be a target yourself, you may live next to someone.
Well, the volume just went down again, so I guess it's just that video, so it's fine. I can read some more here. So the device, sometimes referred to by the brand name Stingray, is designed to mimic a cell tower and can trick your phone into connecting to it. Instead, the news team asked Turner to ride around the capital region with special software loaded onto 3 cell phones with 3 different carriers to detect the devices operating in various locations. So when you see these red bars, those are very high suspicion events, said Turner. If you live in or near the district, your phone has probably been tracked at some point, he said. A recent report by the Department of Homeland Security called the spy devices a real and growing risk. So maybe it's not them involved, I guess. And the I-team found them in high-profile areas like outside the Trump International Hotel, while driving across the 14th Street Bridge, etc., etc. So, yeah. Check that out. I may put that in a video and go more extensive on that. So potential spy devices which track cell phones, intercept calls found all over D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. I think this is the first story of its kind. It's exploding vape pen kills St. Petersburg man. Yeah, maybe first known such death. An exploding vaping pen killed a 38-year-old man earlier this month at his home, the autopsy shows. The Pinellas County Medical Examiner confirmed the detail to 10 News. Firefighters have suspected it is the cause of death since first responders were dispatched to the home on a call about a fire. All right. So that's, I guess, the vape pen blew up. Apparently, caused a fire and killed a guy. I'd still choose vaping over cigarettes, though, anytime. So that's just me. Here's, let's see what this one is here. Oh, okay. Just another interesting bit of footage. I like this channel, too. Now You Know. He, every now and then, gets some real cool ones up there. What do you think this could be? Just watch the footage.
Chilling CCTV footage captures a terrifying moment when a...
Watch the girl.
Check that out. Watch the girl. Wow, right? First, I thought it might just be some viral marketing thing, but I don't think so. And that's just natural for us to automatically think, something's made up. It's they're trying to sell something. Pizza truck's going to drive by, or something. But no, man, that's pretty intense. It's like a spirit just knocked her down or something. It's the only thing I can think. Some entity, perhaps. Just knocked her down. Dang. Anyway. Anyway, there's that. Now for the last 2 stories. A lot of people, have written me asking me about, the big wedding ceremony and what I thought and stuff. And I watched some of it too, just because I was looking for symbols. That's all I do with these things. The next story I show you is the final. It's the one that, it's exactly what I think about the wedding. But so the goat dress, no surprise with that wicked bloodline, just to find something like a Meghan Markle with the goat, the goat dress. That's a little something. But this right here is the big one. It's a real picture I'm about to show you. Not photoshopped. You can look it up for yourself. It's on Alex Soros's. I think it's his Instagram. Yeah. This is what I think about the wedding and about Meghan Markle. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. It's a bit older, but that's Meghan Markle right there, and she's at a spirit cooking party. You can see the lady back here on the board. Then back in here, you got some kind of weird stuff going on, something happening, but it's another one of those spirit cooking parties. Even right here on the side, spirit cooking they're talking about. Tonight we dine in hell. And that's Meghan Markle right there. Got the black hood on. And she's at her spirit cooking party. So, you know, all these people, you know, where'd she come from? How come Meghan Markle? She's an actress. She was like on a TV show and you know, she's done some stuff, but you know, just seemingly out of nowhere. Wow, that girl, why her? You know, well, you know, this is why her, you know, she's already in it. She's already in it. And that concludes the stories, man. So I'm going to jump over here to the chat for a bit. And just say once again, guys, thanks so much. Look, I've got a very special show coming up in a few days. It's going to be a live show. And I've got a special guest coming on, and we're going to discuss real spiritual warfare. This is a person who's really in it, and he's got some amazing stories. And it's also just going to be a good chat. Okay, so I'll have that up here in a few days. More videos coming up here shortly. I got a couple I need to finish up. And that's it, man. Guys, thanks again. God bless you, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the support of my work. Always. Thanks to Silver Botanicals. Check out silverbotanicals.com. And just thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys, okay? And until next time, I'll talk to you later. So you guys take care. Thanks.